Welcome to 20 years of a choral pilgrimage. Our 2006 pilgrimage was devoted to the music of one composer, Thomas Louis de Victoria. And we're going to listen to his funeral motet, Versa est in Luctum, from his supreme masterpiece, his Requiem of 1605. Scholar, mystic, priest, singer, composer and organist, 6 persons all rolled into one, and that is quite simply why Victoria is the most outstanding composer of the Renaissance. After 20 years of working in Rome, which resulted in many sumptuous publications of his works, he returned to Madrid in 1585 to spend my time in the contemplation of the divine as befits a priest. He became choirmaster and chaplain to the Dowager Empress Maria, Philip II's sister, at the Monasterio de las Descalzas Reales, the monastery of the barefooted nuns. The convent was founded in 1559 by Juana of Austria, whose daughter shut herself up there rather than endure marriage to Philip II. The Dowager Empress Maria died in February 1603, and it was for the state funeral that Victoria composed his Requiem and this funeral motet, Versa est in Luctum. The choir at the monastery consisted of 12 singing priests and 4 boys, and after 1600 those 4 boys were increased to 6. Certain similarity with the 16 there. My harp is turned to mourning, and my music into the voice of those that weep. Now, with a lot of 16th century music, I like to conduct in a very slow 2. I feel if you conduct in 4, you're sort of constricting the music into bar lines, and with 2 in a bar, it gives you more freedom. We must remember that actually in Renaissance times, when they were singing from the part books, there were no bar lines. This is very much a modern invention. So 2 in a bar allows freedom. We note that he starts just with 1 voice, Versa, building it gradually up. And here, when we have Versa est in Luctum, mourning, this wonderfully sonorous chord on mourning, everybody is singing there. And its sonority is amazing, because what you've got is actually 3 Bs, albeit at different octaves, but it gives us a sort of centre to the sound and a real depth. After that, Citara mea, my harp, beautiful way Victoria uses just the upper voices and then answered by the 3 lower voices all coming together. Now, in a lot of Renaissance music, motets that last, 3 or 4, 5 minutes maybe, I like to think of maybe 2 special moments with them where I'm going to sort of slightly paint the music, sort of get the ebb and flow going in the music. And here at this point we have the introduction of the new set of words. Parce mihi Domine, spare me, O Lord. So we've got a wonderful suspension in the second sopranos going over that at the point of entry of the Parce mihi. But there is a part to me that dictates what we're going to do, and that is the first tenors. In vocem, they have these wonderful crotchets with the C natural, in vocem flentium, and I like them to ask them to stretch the vowel of vocem, and it's up to everybody else to listen to them, because if we then listen to those first tenors, everybody can be together on that Parce entry. Beautiful moment. Now, with all Renaissance music, and this goes right through Baroque music to early classical, everything's based on architecture. And if the phrase rises, the singers or instrumentalists would naturally crescendo. When the phrase descends, they would put a diminuendo in. So here we have the parts rising to these wonderful top F sharps, Domine, nihil enim sunt dies mei. Now, I often talk to the choir about using unimportant words to actually bring out the importance of the important word. So here's a case in point. Nihil enim sunt dies. Nihil, nothing. Enim sunt, unimportant word. Take us on to the word dies, important word. So it's how we approach those consonants. Sunt dies. We need to work those all the time, but always being very conscious of the whole of the text and the sense of the phrase. Because Victoria uses this text many times over a space of about 30 bars, we need to find some dynamic contrast within that and find the point about where we may diminuendo. So for me, it's here. And if each phrase sort of does a subtle diminuendo within their part, so not diminuending as a body together, very important that each point should diminuendo at their respective times. Then we get that ebb and flow and that light and shade in the music. Towards the end, the last 15 bars, we have this entry here, and this is where I build the crescendo. Added here by the second tenors and basses, longer note values, all filling out the texture. Now, what's really important in Renaissance music is when you see an accidental in the score, nurture it, use it. So we have lots of C naturals in these last 5 bars, building up from the second sopranos to the first sopranos, so we can go into that last chord with a fullness of sound and then linger on it and allow the music to speak for itself. Let the music now speak to you. Versa est in Luctum by Thomas Louis de Victoria.